So good afternoon, everybody. Uh, uh, in last lecture, this was the article which we have discussed. Last article, rather. Because in last lecture we discussed mostly direct and or simple or complex sensors. And as I told you earlier, biosensor is one of the example of complex sensor because it has two different transducers. The first transducer is bioreceptor, which will recognize the target analyte. Okay, and examples of bioreceptors are enzyme, antibodies, nucleic acid, and yeah, as far as glucose biosensor is concerned, I told you earlier, glucose oxidase is going to be example of um, um, target analyte for glucose biosensor. And then we need another transducer which will convert the recognition event into measurable signal. It means there will be some biochemical signal generated at this juncture out of this first transducer, and that biochemical signal will be converted into measurable electrical signal. And then I showed you this schematic of biosensor, that how the sensor is going to be, how sensor is going to generate signal. Like whenever this analyte comes in contact with bioreceptor, there would be some sort of reaction taking place here. That reaction would be responsible for generating biochemical signal here. And then once we this transducer have those biochemical signals, you can see now these biochemical signals, these biochemical signals can be converted to electrical signal. As far as cycle transducer is concerned, it can be of any type. These are some of the examples of those transducers. And this was the reaction I was talking about. Like whenever glucose interacted with glucose oxidase in presence of O2 and S2O, this glucose is going to be converted into gluconic acid and S2O2, hydrogen peroxide. And this S2O2 will be further dissociated to generate electrons. And these electrons will be responsible for generation of electrical signal at the output. So this is the working principle of biosensor which we have discussed yesterday. This is another schematic diagram of enzyme sensor, complex sensor. Like you can see here, this is enzyme layer and this is our sensor. So sensor, whatever bioanalyte is going to be there, the bioanalyte is going to be detected by this, because here it has not mentioned anything, right? It has not mentioned anything, right? So sample is here. Sample means not here. The sample is going to be here. Sample means the analyte which is going to be generated. And then this is going to be buffer, and this sample is going to be interacted with the enzyme layer first. This is what we call as bioreceptor, and then there will be another transducing mechanism happening here. So this is another schematic of enzyme sensor. Now let us, today we are going to discuss optical chemical sensor. This is another complex sensor, right? Now what is optical sensor? By the name itself, uh, because since we are referring optical sensor, it means there would be a kind of interaction between electromagnetic radiation with matter, right? So in optical sensor, basically optical sensor are based on interaction of electromagnetic radiation with matter, which results in modulating some of the properties of radiation. Those properties could be either wavelength, intensity, polarization, velocity of light, or medium in the medium. So essentially, like whenever we are talking about optical sensor, uh, uh, you will be having the modulation of one of some of the properties. Like you can see, like in optical fiber, we are having total internal reflection. So whenever there would be modulation in total internal reflection, whenever there would be attenuation of total internal reflection, the properties of the light is going to be modulated. So that property can be either, you can identify that modulation in terms of intensity variation, or wavelength variation, or power variation also, right? So the presence of different chemicals, like as far as why it is called optical chemical sensor, because there would be analyte in the form of chemicals that would be interacting with medium, and that will be responsible for modulation of one of those properties which we are talking about, right? So optical modulation is studied by spectroscopy, which provide information on various microscopic structures from atom to the dynamics in the polymer. It means, like whenever we are talking about optical sensor, that optical sensor would be responsible are capable of identifying the microscopic structures right from atoms to the dynamic structures of the polymer. In a general arrangement, the monochromatic radiation passes through a sample, which may be gas, liquid, or solid, and its properties are examined at the output. It means like what happens like the monochromatic light is going to be passes through the medium in which there will be interaction of interaction of light with that of the material, right? And that interaction is going to, because of the chemical species which is going to be interacted with that material, there would be modulation in one of the properties of that material, and that will be responsible for modulation of one of the properties of electromagnetic radiation. This could be one. Another option could be the sample may respond with secondary radiation. Sometimes, like you can have the primary, you can have the impact of primary radiation, or sometimes it could be like the sample may respond to the secondary radiation. Second example of second radiation is induced luminescence. I'm going to tell you that as well, which can also be measured. But most of the time, usually in any optical chemical sensor, light is going to be transmitted through medium, wherein there would be a kind of interaction of the chemical species with that material that would be responsible for modulation of one of the properties, and then that property modulation in that property will be responsible for having the changes in uh, one of the properties of the electromagnetic radiation. Optical sensors can be or are designed and built in a great variety of ways, which are limited only by designer imagination. What does it mean? It means that whenever we are talking about optical sensors, like you can design optical sensor by variety of ways. It all depends on your thinking. It all depends on your capabilities, right? Here we are going to describe one of those possible I mean the possibility, one of those possibilities. This is the optical sensor which we are going to discuss today. Now, if you look at this, you can. This is a kind of you can see there are two different chambers. There are two chambers. You can see here what we have done. The chamber we kept like we have. This is a kind of like we are going to have interaction of these chemical species with this material, and both chambers are going to be illuminated by the same LED. So it means that same total internal reflection is going to be there in this particular medium. This is the glass medium, a kind of waveguide, I would say. Okay, and there are two detectors. There are two detectors, detector 2 and detector 1. Okay, now as far as detector 2 is concerned, here there won't be any interaction with light. Okay, here there won't be any interaction because we don't have any, because this membrane is not semi-permeable. We have intentionally kept this membrane semi-permeable. As a result of that, whatever chemical species which is going to be exposed to this particular medium, this particular surface, that is going to be interacted with this medium only, because this layer is semi permeable. So as a result of that, there would be modulation in particular refractive index of this surface. Now, since there would be modulation in refractive index, as I told you in the last lecture as well, this is a kind of optical fiber. Like you can just imagine optical fiber. What happens in optical fiber? As long as the refractive index of core and cladding is unchanged, is constant, there won't be any deviation in total internal reflection. जब तक वो optical fiber, जैसे कि मान लो this is the optical fiber, right? This is optical fiber. Okay, at this end we have illuminated light through LED, and at this end we are going to have a detector, right? And we are this is optical fiber having core and cladding. If you don't have any modification in the optical fiber, okay, what will happen? There would be, it means refractive index of core and cladding is going to be same, is going to be unchanged. So there won't be any total internal deviation in TIR, total internal reflection. As long as there is no deviation in total internal reflection, this light, like whatever light intensity or power which we are going to be detected by detector, there won't be any change in that, because total internal reflection is going to be same. We are not going to have any attenuation in total internal reflection. लेकिन आप देखिए कि ये यहाँ से लेकर यहाँ तक अगर ऑप्टिकल फाइबर की लेंथ है, यहाँ पर अगर हमने मान लो एक क्लैडिंग निकाल कर यहाँ पर कुछ और मटेरियल अगर हम कोट कर देते, तो व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन, लाइक व्हेनेवर दिस सरफेस कम्स इन कांटेक्ट विद एनालाइट, ये जो सरफेस है, मान लो दिस सरफेस इज लाइक द केमिकली सेंसिटिव सरफेस। केमिकली सेंसिटिव मतलब क्या है कि ये जो सरफेस, जो भी मॉडिफाइड हम क्लैडिंग जो लगाएंगे, that is going to be reacted with the chemical species। इसका मतलब क्या होगा कि जो जब ये सरफेस केमिकल स्पेसिस के साथ रिएक्ट करेगा तो इसका आरआई चेंज होगा, राइट। जब इस पर्टिकुलर पार्ट का जो आरआई चेंज होगा, तो जब लाइट यहाँ से ट्रेवल होगा तो क्या होगा, देयर विल बी like more like there will be ATR means attenuation or total internal reflection। कुछ लाइट जो है क्लैडिंग में लॉस, you are going to lose some light here। As a result of that, इस end पे जो पहले लाइट आने वाला था, there would be deviation in that, intensity is going to be dropped down, power is going to be dropped down, right? And this will be proportional to the concentration of the chemical species। So this is what it is going to happen here। So this is what it is explained. This consists of two chambers which are illuminated by common LED। You can see there are two chambers and both the chambers are going to be illuminated by the common LED. Okay, and each chamber has metallized surface for better internal reflectivity। As I told you earlier, both the surface are metallized, like both the chambers have metallized surface, so that there will be total internal reflection, क्योंकि reflection उसका अच्छा होना चाहिए, इसलिए metallized रखा है। Left chamber has slots covered with the gas permeable membrane। तो ये क्या होगा, दिस इज गोइंग टू बी गैस परमेबल मेम्ब्रेन, क्योंकि यहाँ से क्या होगा कि गैस जो है यहाँ से सीधा घुस पाएगा यहाँ पर, राइट। दिस इज गोइंग टू बी ओनली फॉर दिस चैम्बर, दिस इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी this kind of provision we have not made as far as another chamber is concerned। only left जो chamber है वहीं पर हमने ये changes किए। The slots of this that slots allow CO2 to diffuse into the chamber, because ये CO2 कोई भी, it could be CO2 or CO or whatever, तो क्या होगा, these slots are going to allow CO2 to diffuse into the chamber। As a result of that, the bottom part of chambers are made, the bottom parts of chambers are made of glass, right। ये जो नीचे के part है, these are made up of glass, as I mentioned earlier, right। both vapors A and B from forms optical wave, right? The test chamber is filled with the reagent and reference chamber is not। तो यहाँ पर क्या होगा, ये जो है ना, this test chamber is going to be filled with a reagent which is going to be interacted with the chemical species, so that उसका जो मैंने बताया था कि उसका refractive index change होगा। लेकिन यहाँ पर क्या होगा, only air, there won't be any reagent। so यहाँ पर जब गैस जाएगा तो वहाँ पर क्या होगा, whenever light is going to travel through this region, there won't be any deviation, total reflection होगा, total जो भी यहाँ पर reflection होगा, there won't be any deviation with respect to the variation in gas analyte। लेकिन यहाँ पर क्या होगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पर ये reagent है, उसके साथ ये gas interact होगा, and as a result of that what will happen, whenever the chemical species come inside, so there would be some kind of interaction between this reagent with that of chemical species, and that will modulate the refractive index of this particular region, and that modulation will be directly proportional to the concentration of gas analyte। एज ए रिजल्ट ऑफ दैट क्या होगा कि जहाँ जब जब यहाँ से जब लाइट ट्रैवल करेगा, तो एवरी टाइम देयर विल बी डिफरेंट लॉसेस, दैट लॉसेस इज गोइंग टू बी प्रोपोर्शनल टू डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ गैस एनालाइट। तो ये आउटपुट जब आप देखोगे तो क्या होगा, आउटपुट में वी आर गोइंग टू मेजर वीएस एंड वी रेफरेंस फिक्स रहेगा, बिकॉज यहाँ तो कुछ, क्योंकि देयर आर टू डिटेक्टर्स, राइट, PD2 एंड PD1। PD2 तो कांस्टेंट रहेगा क्योंकि इसमें कुछ रिएक्शन होगा नहीं, राइट। तो यहाँ पर जो भी वोल्टेज रहेगा, ये डिटेक्टर जो भी वोल्टेज इलेक्ट्रिकल सिग्नल जनरेट करेगा, दिस विल बी फिक्स, बट देयर विल बी वेरिएशन इन दिस। एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ दैट, दिस डिफरेंस जो है यहाँ पर, this difference is going to be directly proportional to the concentration of the chemical species. So this is what we call as optical chemical sensor. And the current electrical signal, this is, I mean, and as far as this particular configuration is concerned, there would be, I mean, whatever optical absorbance rahega, wo jo changes rahenge, those changes are going to be in accordance with Beer-Lombard law. And this is the expression of Beer-Lombard law, where I is where I is the transmitted intensity, I0 is going to be the source intensity. Whatever the light we are eliminating, that is the whatever, so the intensity of light is there, that is going to be I0, and I is going to be transmitted intensity. Lambda is the wavelength of light which is being used. C is the concentration of gas analyte, and D is the optical path length. अब आप देखेंगे यहाँ पर I is variation क्या रहेगा? I is the transmitted intensity. It is going to be modulated because of what? Because of C, because of concentration, right? And because this is going to be modulated, right? So accordingly, whatever the electrical signal we are going to generate here, that electrical signals are going to be directly proportional to the chemical concentration of chemical species. Similarly, this is one kind of optical sensor, optical chemical sensor. The another is, this is another fiber optic gas sensor. This is another fiber optic gas sensor. यहाँ पर हमने क्या किया आप देखिए, this is entire fiber optic sensor. इसका मतलब क्या है कि ये बहुत लंबा ऑप्टिकल फाइबर है. यहाँ पर डायग्राम में हम उसको शॉर्ट बता रहे हैं, right? Now this is, now अभी ऑप्टिकल फाइबर, this is multi mode optical fiber. This is not single mode optical fiber. आप देखेंगे कि उसका लाइक लास्ट एंड जो है, जहां पर हम उसको इलेक्ट्रोड जो कह रहे हैं, सेंसिंग जो प्रोब रहेगा, वहां पर हमने क्या किया, दिस पोर्शन जो है ना, वी हैव रिमूव द क्लैडिंग. ओके, दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल इट ए सेंसिंग प्रोब, एंड दैट कैन बी लाइक जो एनालाइट रहेगा, जैसे कुछ केमिकल पीएच डिटेक्ट करना है केमिकल का, राइट? सो दिस पर्टिकुलर पार्ट कैन बी इंसर्टेड इनटू द केमिकल which is going to be interacted with this analyte, right? Now this is emitter, this is the fiber through which we are light is being incident. ये light यहाँ से निकलेगा, यहाँ पर interact होगा, and then the reflected light is going to be received by the detector. This another optical fiber, another mode of optical fiber, right? Another mode of optical fiber. यहाँ पर हम ये भी कह सकते हैं कि you can consider bundle of optical fiber. You can consider bundle of optical fiber. एक optical fiber से आप light incident कर रहे हैं ये sample पे, जो reflection होगा, whatever reflected light you are going to have, this reflected light is going to be collected by detector. Okay, तो क्या होगा, ये reflected light depending on the concentration, like pH अगर हम मान लो किसी chemical का pH, किसी liquid medium का pH अगर detect कर रहे हैं, तो if we modulate pH, there will be different absorption of light. So reflected light क्या होगा, change होगा, and that will be proportional to the pH of this medium, and accordingly, and therefore the intensity or whatever electrical signal यहाँ पर जो detector convert करेगा, that is going to be directly proportional to the values of this pH, if it is pH sensor. Okay, this is another example of optical fiber sensor. Now let us have a comparison of chemical sensor versus instrument. Chemical sensor versus instrument. आपको मैं बताऊं कि ज़्यादातर chemical sensors, because we talked about the issues in chemical sensor, right? Now if you are using a chemical sensor alone, so there would be many problems of those chemical sensors. Like we know, because of one or other reason, that that sensor is going to be material is going to be deteriorated. That material is going to be deteriorated, and whenever there is a deterioration in that material, the you will not be able to have the similar kind of calibration. इसलिए chemical sensor में calibration आपको after regular interval के बाद करना बहुत जरूरी होता है. Moreover, what happens in most of the reliable sophisticated instrument. What happens? The chemical sensor is integrated with some electronics processing section in that equipment. जैसे कि क्या होगा कि एक इलेक्ट्रोड रहेगा, that electrode can be replaced. The chemical sensor would be kind of electrode. जैसे कि आप लैब में जो भी लोग स्टूडेंट काम करते हैं, you have let us say deposited one particular material like conducting polymer है, graphene है, या MOF है, that is your sensor, right? That you have deposited on, let us say, one interdigited electrode, small interdigited electrode. So that can be your sensing element. That sensing element, let us say उसका stability है, आपके sensing element का stability है 1 महीने का, right? तो इसका मतलब मान लो वो अगर sensing element किसी advanced instrument में है जिसकी cost है maybe 2 lakhs or 50 lakhs, क्योंकि if you look at the very like gas chromatographs, okay, mass chromatographs, liquid chromatograph, GCs, LCs, MS, okay, mass spectrometers. तो यहाँ पर इसकी कॉस्ट लाखों में होती है, like 20 लाख, 30 लाख, 50 lakhs. तो वहां पर अगर केमिकल सेंसर नहीं होते, yes, it is chemical sensor is integral part of those advanced instrument. तो अगर मान लो ये केमिकल सेंसर डिटोरिएट अगर होता है, ये अगर मानकर हम चलते हैं, तो डज इट मीन दैट those costly equipments are going to be outdated within 1 or 2 years? No, no, absolutely not. इसीलिए जब भी हम एडवांस इंस्ट्रूमेंट लेते हैं तो यहाँ पर जो छोटे-छोटे सेंसिंग एलिमेंट जो रहेंगे उसकी अपनी लाइफ रहेगी, तो वो हमें बताएंगे कि दिस सेंसिंग एलिमेंट नीड टू बी रिप्लेस्ड आफ्टर एवरी 1 year or 6 months or whatever, depending on the stability of that material, right? So as what I'm trying to tell you, like these sensing elements are going to be coupled with those like electron processing part in the section in the advanced equipment. That could be the signal, signal processing, particularly like error elimination, signal amplification, right? Display, decision making, because sometimes what happens, like this is what it happens in sensing array. Sensing array में होता है कि जैसे कि मान लो आपके पास दो अलग अलग सिग्नल है, right? So you have to take the decision, so you need to have some decision making element in the instrument as well. कुछ ऐसे इंस्ट्रूमेंट होते हैं कि वहां पर जैसे कि पर्टिकुलरली क्रोमेटोग्राफ में गैस क्रोमेटोग्राफ है, लिक्विड क्रोमेटोग्राफ है, यहाँ पर क्या होता है कि ये जो सेंसर्स है इसको कैलिब्रेट करना बहुत जरूरी होता है. तो कैलिब्रेट मतलब क्या है कि आपको बताया जाता है कि भाई ये सेंसर एलिमेंट जो है दिस नीड टू बी कैलिब्रेटेड आफ्टर एवरी 6 months. तो कैलिब्रेटेड का मतलब क्या है, जो सेंसिंग रिस्पांस सेंसिटिविटी हो गई, मतलब रिस्पांस टाइम, रिकवरी टाइम, सेंसिटिविटी, स्टेबिलिटी, स्टेबिलिटी तो हमें देखनी है, सेंसिटिविटी ये हम लाइक जब इंस्ट्रूमेंट हम परचेस करेंगे तब उसकी वैल्यूज हम रिकॉर्ड करके रखेंगे, एंड आफ्टर एवरी 3 months और वट एवर डिपेंडिंग ऑन द सजेशन ऑफ द सप्लायर, मैन्युफैक्चरर रादर, कैलिब्रेशन हमें एवरी 2 months, एवरी 3 months, एवरी 6 months जो भी एडवाइस किया गया है, if whenever you will be calibrating that, and sometime what happens, by doing some minor changes you will be able to to some extent sustain with the deterioration, but after some time you need to replace that sensing element. As far as the chromatograph is concerned, जैसे कि लिक्विड एंड गैस क्रोमेटोग्राफी जो उसको हम LC-GC हम कहते हैं, केमिस्ट्री की जो स्टूडेंट है उनको पता होता है. तो यहाँ पर लाइक बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि देयर इज ए लाइक लॉन्ग ट्यूब जो ऐसा ट्विस्टेड ट्यूब रहेगा जिसमें अलग अलग पोरस मटेरियल हम फील करेंगे. सेंसिंग कैसी किया जाती है वहां पर, इंस्टेड ऑफ हैविंग द पर्टिकुलर सेंसिंग एलिमेंट, वहां पर एक सिस्टम होता है, सेटअप होता है. जैसे कि एक बड़ा ट्यूब है, वो ट्यूब ऐसा ट्विस्टेड ट्यूब है, राइट, and the tube is going to be filled with different porous material, right? And then whatever gas species which we are going to measure, so those gas species would be allowed to pass through those, the tubes. Now जो porous material जो रहेगा, that porous material will be the pores of those material will be we need to have those in like that the pores of those materials should be comparable with that of the molecular size of the chemical species which we are going to detect, which we are going to measure. इसीलिए आप अगर जीसी और जीसी और एलसी करेंगे, आप कंसिडर करेंगे, तो देयर आर डिफरेंट ट्यूब्स फॉर डिफरेंट द केमिकल स्पेसिस, बिकॉज वो ट्यूब्स में जो पोरस मटेरियल रहेगा, दैट पोरस मटेरियल, उसका जो फोर्स है, उसके जो फोर्स है, दोस फोर्स आर कंपेरेबल विद दैट ऑफ द केमिकल स्पेसिस। इसलिए आप अगर बड़ी इंस्ट्रूमेंट अगर देखोगे तो वहां पर अलग अलग ट्यूब्स रहेंगे, या तो फिर एक सेटअप रहेगा, दैट सेटअप इज गोइंग टू बी यू नो valid, or that can be applicable only for a set of chemical species, दो तीन species के लिए वो यूज होगा, and for another set you will have to have the another tubes। यहाँ पर क्या होगा, अब जैसे मैंने बताया था, साइज ऑफ द पोर्स इन द मटेरियल्स आर चूजन बाय प्रायर एक्सपेरिमेंट टू क्लोजली मैच विद द फिजिकल साइज ऑफ द एक्सपेक्टेड मॉलिक्यूल्स इन द सैंपल। मतलब जो भी सैंपल हमारे रहेंगे, उसके जो द मॉलिक्यूलर साइज रहेंगी, वो मतलब इंस्ट्रूमेंट बनाते समय ये स्ट्रेटेजीज रहती कि लेट अस से व्हाटएवर द GC and LC, GC particularly gas chromatography which I am talking about, तो मतलब कौन से गैस स्पेसिस, कौन से केमिकल स्पेसिस के लिए ये काम में आएगा, अकॉर्डिंगली उसके जो ट्यूब्स में जो पोरस मटेरियल जो है, ट्रायल एंड एरर से पहले उसको फील किया जाएगा, बिकॉज इट like so that those pores could be matched with the physical size of those molecules. As a result of that, जो डिटेक्टर जो रहेगा, मतलब क्या होगा कि ये जो गैस मॉलिक्यूल्स, इसमें भी क्या होगा कि there would be two different kinds of gas molecules, like one would be like bigger in dimension, other would be less, smaller in dimension, right? जो accordingly क्या होगा कि this is like entry point, and if this is if this is the let us say 1 meter size of that tube, तो एंट्रेंस पॉइंट पे दोनों मॉलिक्यूल्स एक साथ आ सकते हैं, लेकिन डिपेंडिंग ऑन द डिमेंशन, यहाँ पर क्या होगा, ईस्ट एंड पे द बिगर साइज, डिपेंडिंग ऑन साइज, डिफरेंट मॉलिक्यूल्स विल बी एक्सीडिंग द ट्यूब एट डिफरेंट टाइम। तो जहाँ पर मतलब जो उसके उनके जो डिमेंशन है, डिमेंशन की अकॉर्डिंगली अलग अलग मॉलिक्यूल्स अलग अलग समय पे ये ट्यूब को छोड़कर जाएंगे। So as a result of that, the whatever detector we will be having at the end, detector क्या करेगा फिर, मतलब जब भी उसके पास मॉलिक्यूल पास होगा तो it is going to be detected. There would be peak in the instrument, right? So that peak need to be identified. Okay. So what is the purpose of detector? Detector is going to identify the exit of those molecules, and accordingly some electrical signals are going to be recorded. Now, whenever the sample passes through the porous material, जैसे मैंने बताया कि smaller molecules move easier and exit sooner than the larger molecules. So as a result of that, different molecules, different species जो है एक समय पे बाहर नहीं निकलेंगे, तो it will be easier for detector to understand. तो इसीलिए मैंने बताया कि हमें क्योंकि पहले एक्सपेरिमेंट करने होंगे कि like let us say for example CO2 and CO, तो हमें देखना पड़ेगा कि which chemical species has the bigger dimension of molecules, right? Molecular size किसकी क्या है, कौन पहले निकलेगा, accordingly we need to train the device that जो पहले आएगा that is going to be CO, जो दूसरी बार आएगा that is going to be CO2. So accordingly we need to train these devices as well, and accordingly you are going to have these kind of peaks. Okay, लेकिन ये जो peaks है, the samples are separated and eventually exit the tube typically in groups with the gaps in between. जैसे मैंने बताया कि this is how, जो जैसे कि मान लो आपने एक साथ दोनों सैंपल्स आपने इंसर्ट कर दिए, बट बिकॉज ऑफ दिस इंटरनल जो हमने जो मटेरियल फील्ड किया हुआ है, अकॉर्डिंगली क्या होगा कि दोनों एग्जिट एंड पे दोनों सैंपल्स एक समय पर बाहर नहीं निकलेंगे, राइट? इट मींस दैट यू आर इवेंचुअली सेपरेटिंग टू डिफरेंट gas species, and it will be easier for detection. The electrical detector records their overall concentration as a peak with a width. तो आप देखिए यहाँ पर ये जो peak है ना, and the width, because whenever you will be, this is the particular the spectrum of GC and this is the spectrum of MS. तो यहाँ पर ये भी स्पेक्ट्रम इतने आसान नहीं होते क्योंकि दे आर वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स, इट हैज मेनी lot many information. For that purpose, we need to have the another, we call it as a chromatograph. ये जो पिक्स मिलते हैं ना, पिक्स, ये इसको हम क्रोमेटोग्राफ कहते हैं। तो इसका वेट, उसका जो हाइट, इसके जो पीक एंड विड्थ इज गोइंग टू डिसाइड what the sample is all about, what it would be the concentration, and accordingly, क्योंकि आप अगर if you are layman, आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा कि ये पैटर्न क्या दर्शाता है। जैसे कि आपने देखा होगा FTIR। So whenever you are having FTIR spectrum, unless you know uh, the 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 importance and the importance of each and every peak, there also that peak is going to peak at one particular wavelength is going to be responsible for either double, like single bond, double bond, stretching, and so on and so forth. And depending on that, you can identify whether whatever material we have synthesized is the same material we were expecting or not, right? So similarly here also, but whenever you have this chromatograph, you need to have a proper training. You need to understand. You need to. But there are different methods by which these chromatographs can be interpreted. Now, what is chemometrics? As I mentioned earlier, chemical analysis instrument produce a response signal that is complex and contains significant amount of information. जैसे कि ये मैंने बताया कि let us say गैस क्रोमेटोग्राफ है, लिक्विड क्रोमेटोग्राफ है, तो यहाँ पर जो इंफॉर्मेशन मिली है, दिस इज मोर कॉम्प्लेक्स। ये तो समझ में नहीं आएगा ना हमें कि क्या, व्हाट डज दिस पीक्स इंडिकेट्स। इसकी विड्थ ज्यादा, जैसे कि ये दो पीक्स है, एक का हाइट ज्यादा है, दूसरे का कम है, यहाँ पर उसका विड्थ ज्यादा है, राइट? So what is the meaning of this? You may not be able to understand. This is very complex. So chemical analysis जो होगा, that is going to be it is a very complex mechanism. This require more advanced analysis than simple single value measurement or threshold comparison. जैसे कि simple एक गैस सेंसिंग गैजेट है, वहां पर हमें क्या दिखाई देगा, स्टेट में आपको वैल्यूज दिखाई देगा कि 20 ppm, 30 ppm, और कितने सेकंड में आप वो डिटेक्ट किया, दैट यू कैन मेजर. सो रिस्पांस टाइम, रिकवरी टाइम, स्टेबिलिटी, दैट कैन बी इजीली सिंगल वैल्यू जो डेटा रहेगा, दैट कैन बी इजीली इंटरप्रेटेड. बट दिस इज नॉट सिंगल वैल्यू डेटा, दिस इज डिफरेंट पीक्स, विड्थ उसकी अलग है, राइट? तो यू नीड एडवांस एनालिसिस. It is important to relate the required signal processing to the chemical sensor as they influence each other quite significantly. क्योंकि हमें जब भी हमें इंटरप्रिटेशन, देयर आर डिफरेंट सॉफ्टवेयर, डिफरेंट टेक्निक्स रादर व्हिच आर बीइंग यूज्ड टू इंटरप्रेट दोस डेटा, राइट? तो वो जो डेटा इंटरप्रिटेशन की जो बात है, वहां पर केमिकल स्पेसिस को कंपैरिजन करते हुए इंटरप्रिटेशन वहां पर बताया जाता है. The study of chemical measurement is referred as chemometrics. What is chemometrics? The study of that chemical measurement. It means the interpretation. ये जो ग्राफ है उसका इंटरप्रिटेशन, उसको समझना, this is what we call as chemometrics, and has been developed to address a particular challenges of chemical sensors and complex sensor response analysis. तो ये chemometrics किस लिए डेवलप किया गया कि ये जो एडवांस इक्विपमेंट जो है, जैसे कि GC, LC जैसे हमने बताया, तो इनके जो क्रोमेटोग्राफ जो रहते, इनके जो ग्राफ्स रहते, उनके जो स्पेक्ट्रम रहते, उनको समझने के लिए जो टेक्निक है, दैट टेक्निक इज नथिंग बट द chemometrics. Chemometrics is responsible for a great deal of advanced data processing techniques, applying mathematical and statistical modeling to a chemical synthesis. तो यहाँ पर कैसा है ना कि mathematical and statistical, there are different kind of mathematical and statistical modeling which are being utilized to interpret this data. यहाँ पर हमें वो मैथमेटिकल मॉडलिंग क्या है, स्टैटिस्टिकल मॉडलिंग क्या है, ये समझना जरूरी नहीं है. हमें खाली इतना ही समझना है कि व्हाट इज chemometrics. Chemometrics is a kind of technique which is being used to understand the complex spectrum from the complex devices. That's it. In general, these techniques can be divided into data exploration and data analysis. यहाँ पर दो टाइप ये होगा कि एक तो डेटा का एक्सप्लोरेशन होगा पहले कि हमें क्या डेटा मिला है, and then later on, these are the two different levels, I would say. First of all, the data, there would be data exploration, and then there would be data analysis. एंड अकॉर्डिंगली देयर आर अगेन जो मॉडल्स की मैं बात कर रहा था, स्टैटिस्टिकल एंड मैथमेटिकल मॉडल, देयर आर टू डिफरेंट models, parametrics and non-parametrics type, and each has certain advantages as well as disadvantages. Both, I mean, मतलब statistical जो techniques है, उसके दो models है, parametrics and non-parametrics. Each has certain advantages and as well as disadvantages. अब इसमें complexity क्या है, वो हम अभी next इसमें देखेंगे. जैसे कि multi-sensor arrays. Now, as far as multi-sensor array is concerned, uh, like what is array? Array is the like whenever you are having more than one